This is the Samsung Galaxy S8, and it might just be the best smartphone ever made.
Far and away the biggest talking point of the S8 is its display. At 5.8 inches it sounds massive and unwieldy, but because Samsung is using a new screen ratio which is taller and narrower than normal, it fits into your hand just fine. In fact, switching from an iPhone 7 Plus, we found the S8 to be more comfortable in both our hands and our pockets. The striking design, called Infinity Display, and a resolution of 1440 by 2960 make the S8 one of the best looking smartphones we've ever seen. It really is a beautiful piece of technology. In stretching the display, Samsung has removed the physical home button, replacing it with a virtual one which responds with a haptic click when you press it. It doesn't feel as much like a real click as the iPhone 7, but does a fine job all the same. Less impressive is the Fingerprint Reader, which has been relocated to the back next to the camera. While LG and Google have found success here, Samsung's rear-mounted print reader is not as conveniently placed and is a little difficult to find without looking. Next to that reader is the same 12-megapixel camera as fitted to the Galaxy S7. It might be a year old now, but is still capable of taking some truly impressive photographs. Meanwhile, the front-mounted 8-megapixel camera is also one of the best on the market. I'm not going to bore you with too many performance stats because there's really no need. As with other flagships, nothing really phases the S8 in any measurable way. More importantly, there is 64GB of storage as standard, plus a microSD card slot for accepting up to 256GB more. There's also wireless charging, water resistance to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes, and, unlike the iPhone 7, a headphone jack. The Galaxy S8 runs Android 7.0 with Samsung's latest TouchWiz interface over the top, and put simply, it's the best interface Samsung's ever made.
New for the Galaxy S8 is Bigsby, Samsung's answer to Apple's Siri and Amazon's Alexa.
Bigsby is a personal assistant launched with the press of a dedicated button, or a swipe to the left of the home screen. Bigsby can help with day-to-day things like checking your calendar and emails and looking at the weather forecast. It can also use the camera to identify products and help you buy them online, as well as find restaurants and cafes next to famous landmarks. Bigsby will eventually have its own voice and be able to hold conversations with you, just like Siri, but unfortunately that feature wasn't available when the phone went on sale, so we haven't been able to test it yet. Just when everyone thought Samsung would be left in turmoil after the exploding Note 7 fiasco, the company's come back stronger than ever, with a pair of great handsets in the form of this S8 and the slightly larger S8 Plus. Apple had better have something seriously impressive up its sleeve with the new iPhone later this year, because the S8 is without doubt the very best phone you can buy right now.